Everybody, Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, time for some Sunday Night Live chat. I'm Chad with Nobody Else's Auto, and we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. Glad some of you guys are here. Glenn's here, Charles is here, Kevin's here, all ready to go on this Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And lots of things happening this week and a lot of stuff coming up to talk about. So anyway, we'll give everybody a few more seconds to get their notifications, let them know that we are live and ready to go. And I hope you guys are still here. It just, it did the same thing it did to me last week. My screen just flashed and my timer just started over on YouTube. So it looks like we got a few people with us over on Facebook. And I hope you guys are still here on YouTube because I'm not really sure what it did. Scott's here with us on Facebook. But, yeah, that was weird. It did the same thing last week. About 30 or 45 seconds in, it flashed and the timer started over. And that's what it just did. So Kevin L's here. Frank's here with us. So it looks like we're still rolling. Scott's on with us on YouTube. So, okay, whatever it was, apparently it just wasn't any big deal. It just restarted the timer. Bill Wagaman's here. Dad's here with us. So, anyway, Alan from Arizona. JP's back. Let's see. Looks like, okay, everything got rolling there pretty quick. I thought I better keep an eye out for things. Ken from Michigan's here. Ken Rule's here. And he's excited and ready to go tonight, which is great. I'm glad you guys are back. As always, before we get too far into things, we'll catch a little bit of housekeeping. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on live and ready to go. There's Jim Petty. Autocorrect, please double check your comment before you hit send. I try to catch most of the comments. I do miss some. I apologize. But if autocorrect changes some of the words into something I can't make out, then I will have to skip it. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, anything like that, you will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only two sets of comments I can see. Bill Disc here from Delaware. Rusty Okie. Got me on the big screen at a bowl of ice cream. Actually, I kind of wish I had some ice cream now. Loader Mike. I should have stopped by. I had the grill fired up. Loader Mike is here with us. Yeah, I had to get back to the shop and get ready for tonight. I just got back to town, so I had to get things rounded up and ready for tonight. Matt's here. We're playing it with Wisconsin from Saab Badges. Saab Badges I can't help you with, but I can help you with a Hudson badge. Mark from Michigan. Yeah, thanks, Rusty Okie. Now I just want ice cream, and I don't have any. Lee from New York. Trolls. Occasionally we do get trolls on here. You guys do an amazing job of running them off, letting them know that they are not welcome here. I ignore them because they're trying to get my attention and screw up what we're doing. So you guys do a great job of reporting them and running them off, and I'm going to ignore them. Super chats are always great. We are always dealing with ads now. It's getting to they're starting to let me kill some of them, so some of them I can manage. Some of them do still sneak in, so ads are something we do have to deal with. And as always, let's welcome any new subscribers or new members to the chat tonight. So if you're new, sound off so we can welcome you in. And anyway, let's go ahead and get rolling. Looks like I'm caught up. Not many comments on Facebook, just one so far, but we'll see what happens there. Chris is here with us. Leo's here. Not a troll despite my Swedish obsession. Okay. Bill's got ice cream. Y'all got ice cream but me. What kind of deal is this? All right, that's okay. I got my water glass. We'll be good to go. Bert's Adventures is back tonight. It's amazing to see you guys keep coming back week after week, building this up, building it to what it is. And that's awesome. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that support and you guys coming by and hanging out. So there's Pete. Enough with the ice cream. I got no ice cream in this freezer. Zero. I need to get some for next week. Bad plan now. All right. I got to get to work. We got to keep moving. So anyway, what else has been going on? I was out of town this weekend, so we'll get into a little bit of that. But the first part of the week was mainly just trying to get shipments out of here. cranked a lot of stuff out this week, and was at a very, very busy couple of days before we got out of town. But did get away for a couple of days, so that was kind of nice. The problem is that because I was so busy before we left, that means I didn't pick up any cars. So we're 2 weeks into June, and I still haven't picked up any more cars after I bought 52 in May. So not making much headway on that project. Numero uno's here. I don't think any of the cats would really appreciate spending some time in the freezers. So anyhow, the wealth of car knowledge and the witty, insightful comments. You might have clicked on the wrong show, JP. Yep, that's right, Glenn. Which, in fact, let's just go ahead and talk about that. That's on the list to talk about tonight anyway. I hope you guys caught the video with our good friend Jim Wicks. There's Randy on the Twister he just recently found a few months back. One owner, untouched, original paint, original interior, 428 Super Cobra Jet, automatic, Twister Mustang. So if you guys aren't familiar with those cars, they only built 96 of them. They were split half and half, 351s to 428s. And then those were split half and half between 4-speeds and automatics. So there were 24 of each. 24 351 automatics, 24 351 4-speeds, 24 428 Super Cobra Jet automatics, and 24 428 Super Cobra Jet 4-speeds. So this one is a 428 Super Cobra Jet automatic. It is nowhere near perfect. It has dings and chips and scratches and scuffs, but it is an untouched original 428 Super Cobra Jet Twister. 96 cars made in total. This one of the 24 428 automatics. So finding an original untouched Twister was a pretty big deal. And some other great comments about it, and it was cool. If you haven't seen that video, it's well worth checking out. It is an amazing car. Those cars, and not just that car in particular, but muscle cars in general. And that's right, number one, the way they had to change the horns on the 428 Super Cobra Jet because of the oil cooler. No, the Lewis family was the dealership that sold it. He bought it from the individual that bought it from the dealership. So, yes, this was the 428 Super Cobra Jet on this one. It had the factory oil cooler and things like that. So, because of that plant in Wisconsin, as far as being a pretty much a strictly performance type thing. And that's something else that a lot of people say, everything's been found. But that was one of the big things about this. This was tucked away in a garage, so buried in stuff because it had been turned into a shelf for the last 40 years that you could just see one corner of that car sticking out. And that's what was under the pile. Driving by the right garage at the right time with the door open and the light hitting something just right is literally how that car was found. So it's just, you never know. There's still some of them out there. And there's beginning to be a lot more appreciation for that type of a car. Everybody knows, especially in the muscle car world, that if you've got a big enough checkbook, you can over-restore anything to way better than it ever was when it came off the assembly line. It's been done a million times. There are so many cars out there that are way better now than they ever were. And as long as you got a big enough checkbook and are willing to write the checks, you can do that to anything. That has happened for so many years now. And even the good original cars now have been over-restored because it was so good to start with. We can make this one perfect. Well, now we've got, kind of a little bit of a flip-flop on that, hey, they're only original once. And this car is original. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best one out there? No. But, and I talked to Wicks about this, roughly half of the Twisters are accounted for. 45, 50 of them, somewhere in that window. of the 96. However, only 2 or 3 are untouched. So say there's maybe a couple more, 3 or 4 cars like this untouched. So yeah, name a car today after a natural disaster. Brian Dispatch is here. But there again, it was a Kansas City zone deal. And since it was going to dealerships out of the Kansas City zone, in Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, things like that, the Twister, I mean, it was just something that happened in this area, still does. And that's where they came up with the name. And the crazy part about it is, when that racing body went defunct and bailed on the order on those 96 cars, I bet nobody had any clue that here we would be almost 55 years later, still talking about how cool these cars are, how unique they are, how neat they are. So Calico's here with us. Should be preserved and put in the Henry Ford Museum. Yeah, and like I said, there's only a few of them left that are untouched. So don't know if we're getting any comments on Facebook because nothing is feeding. I've only had one comment on Facebook, which is kind of odd. Usually at least a few of you guys sound off. So if you're putting in any comments on Facebook, they're not feeding. So yeah, and we didn't fire it up. It does run and drive. He drove it out there in the grass to do the shoot. So I also did a photo shoot on it. I'm going to work on it for Old Cars Weekly. A guy I work with on Hot Rod has already got a hold of me about it. All right, perfect, Scott. Thanks, appreciate that. At least I know you guys are still there. So, yeah, it's pretty unique to say the least. Yeah, and we should have fired it up and drove it around a bit, but we were so mainly concerned about pointing out all of the super specific little unique details that make that car what it is. And that's why we didn't start it up and drive it around. But yeah, it does run and drive. There's no doubt about it. He fired it up, backed it off the trailer. We drove it around the ACD building and did the shoot. So it was a pretty neat deal. Glenn said he learned a lot from it. That's great. That's the whole point of doing this. Brian's buddy's going nuts waiting on the 70s Kingswood video. Yeah, I do need to get that Kingswood video done too. The peeling graphics, they detract a little bit from it, but Buick Man, but it also really helps reel in the fact of how real it is. So anyway, but see, Chris, that's the great part about a car like that. You can still drive it. Football Club's with us on Facebook. Michael Glagola's here. That's the other great thing people are really starting to appreciate about these original cars, Chris. You can drive that car. That car, if you spent $200,000 having that car restored and made it so nice that all you want to do is push it in and out of a trailer because a rock might chip the floor pan or the park brake cable might scuff the floor pan if you hit a bump, this car you can drive. And that's the other amazing thing about an original car like this is it isn't perfect. You can still enjoy it, and it's so unique because it is original. So you're 100% right, Chris. That's what's great about it. Yeah, Bert, definitely check it out. It's a pretty special car. So it's for sale. That car is for sale. So you could own it, Rusty Okie. You're close, so you could own it. So now I think the decals were already peeling. I'm pretty sure they were already starting to peel off to a certain extent. So let's see. Rusty Oak got rolling in his 56. So Alex here with us on Facebook. So good. Glad some of you guys are here on Facebook. I was starting to wonder with nothing popping up just to make sure that you guys weren't missing. Yeah, it's in the 6 figures. He's going to price it like at $119. Is kind of what he was talking about. But when you put that into perspective, they sold one at Barrett in January. They actually sold a 428 automatic at Barrett in January that Jim had sold at Tulsa 3 years ago. And it was a very, very nicely restored car. I don't think it was Concours, but it was pretty darn nice. And that 428 Twister did 250. So, 119 sounds like a ton of money, but compared to what these cars are, it probably not out of the ballpark at all. So anyway, if you guys missed that, be sure to go back and check it out. It was a lot of fun to do it. I think the video is starting to get shared around a little bit. I've seen some spikes in viewer numbers on it, so I think it's starting to get spread around a little bit on some other websites. But pretty cool car, to say the least. And I'm not a big Ford guy, but I've always thought that those cars were so unique because it was a Kansas deal. Even when I was little, there was a guy here in town that had one, a 351 car. And I remember when he got that car that I thought it was so cool. I mean, I was probably 10 or 12 years old the first time I saw one. I just thought it was so cool that there was a special edition Kansas Mustang. Not even being a Mustang guy, I thought that was super cool that it was a Kansas Mustang, just specifically a Kansas type deal. So anyway, it was great. It was a lot of fun to do. Be sure to check it out. On top of the fact that, we always learn something from Jim Wicks. Always. Better deals on Ford stuff. So anyhow, let's talk a little bit about this weekend, then we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up. I was, like I said, I was out of town this weekend. We actually went to Kansas City. I went and saw Titus last night. I was pretty excited about that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever remember the TV show Titus or ever heard of Christopher Titus, but he's pretty funny. He's a stand-up comedian, and he does a lot of car stuff. If you look him up on YouTube, he's got some political stuff on there that I don't watch, and I don't think it's a good idea for anybody in his shoes to be doing political stuff, but he does do some. But last night he kept the politics out of it, and it was a pretty good show. If you haven't seen or heard of Titus, look him up. Watch Norman Rockwell is Bleeding. That's hilarious. Scott jumped over to YouTube for a shot. Glad you tried that. But like I said, he's a big car guy. The TV show that he had on Fox didn't last that long, a season or two, but it had a lot of car stuff on it. In fact, I watched an episode last week, and he had signs and toys. Some of the Wyandotte 10 convertibles I've got, you can see on the shelves in the background of his house. So Jeff remembers it. Yeah, and it was funny. I think he describes his mom as a schizophrenic manic depressant sociopath or something. I don't remember, but it's pretty funny. Buick Man remembers it. Yeah, he was pretty funny. Like I said, I don't like some of the political stuff he got on YouTube, but I don't like anybody doing political stuff if you're trying to entertain people. But he does have a lot of good car stuff in there, and I always like the detail stuff when as far as when he worked in the car stuff. And like I said, the guy, he is pretty funny. I got to give the guy credit. And in person, he was just as good in person as what you see from what you see on YouTube. And it was a good show. It was funny, and we had a great time. Somebody I always wanted to see. He actually had a line of automotive apparel. He had a great T-shirt. In fact, I got one for Addie years and years ago. He had a T-shirt, just a black T-shirt. On the front of it was just a piston and a rod. That's all it was. Piston and a connecting rod. Whole front of the shirt, piston and a connecting rod, and that's it. Nothing else. Which was cool. What was funny about it was when you looked at the back of the shirt, it said, and of course it is Father's Day, so it's a good time to talk about this. The back of the shirt said, if you don't know what's on the front of this shirt, you need to slap your dad. I was like, so, but it was there again. It was all just great gearhead stuff. And he's had some really nice cars built. He talks about cars a lot in his bits. He has a Viper. He's got a bit on his Viper about when he slid his Viper off the track. Yeah, he's got some funny stuff. You know, he was talking about he did his DNA test, the 23andMe or Ancestry.com or something, and you know, he's like, I don't understand why people do this. And people say, oh, I'll just send it in and get it done because, you know, I haven't committed any crimes or anything. And then he goes, yet, you haven't committed any crimes yet. So you got to bear that in mind. So, I mean, like I said, he had some good stuff. But he said he did learn that he is so white that his like ancestry breaks down. And when he gets down to the end, he's like 1% paper plate. So he had some pretty funny stuff. So it was a good time. And he performed for about an hour and 45 minutes, and it was great. So check him out. Like I said, I don't want to watch his political stuff, but if you watch some of his, you know, Norman Rockwell bleeding special and some of that type of stuff, it's pretty funny stuff. So but it was well worth going to check out because I've always wanted to see him. Great, Chris. That's the whole point. That's why, that's why we do this stuff. Okay. Absolutely, Chris. Lots more stuff to go through in that viewer box, and I got another viewer box from the same viewer while I was gone this weekend. So yeah, there's Austin. Huge shout out to that viewer for the donations and the support of what he's been doing for the show. It's one of those things that it's one of those things where, you know, you wonder if all the work that I put into this and all of you guys being here to support it, you know, you really wonder sometimes if it makes a difference. Are we doing anything productive? And you know, from this viewer making these donations in these viewer boxes, it's a pretty cool deal, and we'll get into it one of these days. But it's one of those things that, you know, maybe we are doing something good here. You know, maybe the time and the effort that I put into this and the time and effort that you guys put into it by being involved and sharing your knowledge and helping move this thing forward and bringing your friends in and sharing your knowledge with everybody. You know, maybe we're doing something. Zach, Whiskey Business is here. So we'll get into that a little bit more. We'll definitely do some more of that viewer box, you know, Tuesday night. We got a long ways to go through just the big one, but there's a lot to this deal, and it's great. It's a neat deal. It's weighing on me a little bit, but maybe we're doing something here. Maybe we're doing something that people like and appreciate. At least I hope so. And you know, some of this stuff, you know, I hope that we're making a difference in some of this stuff for some people is all I can say. So anyway, but we're looking forward to doing some more digging through that. One other thing while I was in Kansas City. Oh, hold up. We got ad warnings. Okay. Should have got those. I think I bought one of the rarest Hot Wheels I've ever bought this weekend. I know I paid more for it than I've ever paid for a Hot Wheel before, but I got one of the best Hot Wheels, and we got a few pretty good Hot Wheels. I've got some pretty decent red lines. You know, I've got a lot of mediocre red lines. I've got a few pretty nice red lines. This was a very low production red line, very short window of production on this red line. And it's a pretty cool piece. So yes, we said Hot Wheels, Bill Disc. I don't know when I'm going to reveal it. I kind of want to do a little bit more research on it because I just got back this afternoon. Haven't had time to do a little bit more research on it yet, but there it is. It's kind of hidden in the sack. But I was pretty excited about it. Addie was pretty excited about it. One that we've had on the list for a really long time. Have actually never really stumbled across a decent one. This was nowhere near perfect. It's got some chips and it's got some scratches, but it's a pretty good one. Yeah, I knew Bill Nesk has a ton of Hot Wheels, so this one, like I said, this one's been on our list for a long time. I've never had the opportunity to buy one this good. I've had the opportunity to buy some stuff over the years as I found a few, but they've been rough, beat up, missing parts, and even those beat up, rough, and missing parts were $60 to $80 for rough. So I paid up a little bit for this one, but it's a good one. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to do a little bit more research on it, do a little bit more checking it out, and can't wait to share it with you guys. So, hello, Gray Kitty. Are you going to come make your presence? Come on. You want to come say hi? You do? Come on. Come on. Yes, come here. Oh, okay, come on. You want to say hi? All right, let's say hi to everybody. Yes, there's everybody. Say hi to everybody over here. Hey, over here. Over here. There, look, everybody's over there. Yes, you're a Gray Kitty. You need to look over there and say hi to everybody. Yes, see? Say hi. What are you doing? You're hiding. You're hiding. Meow. 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 There. Say hi. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi, I'm Gray Kitty. What are you doing? What are you doing? There. Say hi to everybody, and then I'm going to put you down so we can keep moving. Meow. Yes, say hi. What? What? All right, time for you to go down. What? No, you don't go walking around on the keyboard. You've tried that before. It doesn't work. Yes, you've wrecked the show before. Yes, you've wrecked the show. All right, hop down. Let's hop down. Yes, come on, hop down. Meow. Meow. We got some work to do here. All right, we got work to do. You're in the way. Do you mind? All right. All right, let's keep moving. What? We need to get to work. I have stuff to do, goofball. Come on, hop down. Let's hop down. Boo, you're making a mess. Come on, down. Let's go. Let's hop down. Yes, say bye. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You need to get down. All right. Back to it. What? There's Dennis. Yeah, they're not empty. Their bowls are low. They're not empty. They're low, which means that yes, we have to be fed or we're going to starve to death because there's only like one layer of food left in our bowl. Alex is here. Okay, let's keep moving. What's coming up this weekend? Uncle Shaggy. We need a badge. There's a Hudson badge. There's an Auburn badge. Let's keep this show rolling. And Rocky Mountain Race Week starts next Sunday. We are not doing the full thing this year. I am still sponsoring Road Week. Obviously, we did bring Pittsburgh State University in as a sponsor this year. I don't know what I'm going to go for some of it. I don't know what my plans look like for sure at this point. Kicks off next Sunday in Tulsa. And the other thing, yes, I did get it, Alex. I did get your money order. So we're good. Next Saturday at Tulsa at the drag strip is Jim Wicks's Mid-America Shelby Show. They are road course Friday, drag strip Sunday, car shows, Road course vintage racing Friday, drag strip Saturday, car show Sunday. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from them, Pete. I've got like 10 videos in the can, and I'm waiting for some information from them. There's actually a bunch of stuff on that channel, but I haven't released it yet. So, in a perfect world, which is going to be tough, I would try to get down to Tulsa on Saturday afternoon, catch part of Wix's deal at the Shelby Show, and then be there Sunday for the kickoff of Rocky Mountain Race Week. That's going to depend on how things go this week. I definitely plan on being at the end of Rocky Mountain Race Week in 2 weeks. Next swap meets around here, there's a small one with the Shelby Show next weekend. What is this, June? There's Hutch is in October is the only thing close around here, I think. Rocky Mountain Race Week. That's where you drive track to track to track, and you run at every track, and you run what you're driving. And if you break it on the road, you fix it on the road, and then you drive to the next track and make another pass. So that starts Sunday in Tulsa. Tulsa, Dallas, Noble, Mocan, in Pittsburg, Kansas, and then back to Tulsa. So if for some reason, Auburn Badge, I do end up going to Tulsa next weekend, I don't know what time I would be back on Sunday. I will make a post. I will make a post like regular to let you guys know what's going on. I don't know if that's going to work. That's going to be a heck of a stretch, especially being gone the last couple of weekends. And I know for sure I'm going to go to the end of Rocky Mountain Race Week. So yes, Shaggy, the old Casey's Cup died a couple of weeks ago. We've got it up on the shelf as a memoir, and we did have to switch cups. So I would really like to go next week, really like to catch part of Wix's show. This is the 50th anniversary. Anything Ford-powered is welcome at the Mid-America Shelby Show next weekend. Actually basing it out of Claremore this year. So that's going on next weekend. If you're down in that area, that's definitely going to be worth checking out. Rocky Mountain Race Week starting Sunday at Tulsa. If you're down around the Dallas area, be sure to catch them there. Back up to Noble around Oak City, over to Mocan at Pittsburg, Kansas, and then back to Tulsa. So Pete is going to try to catch it in Tulsa. Obviously, I've been involved with those guys for a long time. It's a great organization. Matt Frost is a great dude. He is a racer, and that's why he does this. So it's a great deal. Obviously, a lot of our friends do it, been doing it for a long time, and have come to know a lot of those people pretty well. So please keep that in mind. If you're anywhere near those things, go out and check it out. These guys are going to roll into the track in what they're racing. They're going to go out, make some passes, then they're going to repack and drive right back out of the track in the same car they drove in there earlier in the day, and then they're going to hit the highway with it later on in the day. So it's a great deal. Been doing it for almost 10 years now, and like I said, I am the sponsor on the Road Week cars, which are the guys that just roll in their hot rods and don't worry about racing. They just want to hang out and do the deal and roll in their cars. So 2.0 did some of those towns last year, but they've never done Mocan, so I know it's been changed up a little bit for sure. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I will make a post next Saturday and keep you guys in the loop as to if something is going to be different. Next Sunday night, if I do go to Tulsa and don't get back in time. If not, we'll just see how things go. If I end up not going, obviously we'll be on, no problem. And then definitely plan on being at Mocan and Tulsa the following weekend for the wrap-up of Rocky Mountain Race Week. So let's see. Good Guys is in Des Moines, July 5th through the 7th. Check the Oil is in Columbus, Ohio, the 20th to the 22nd. That looks like a great sign show. Yes, you can follow and not race Rusty Okie. It's called Road Week. If you sign up for Road Week, I think it's, I don't know how much it costs, $300, $350, but it gets you, I think you get 4 passes and 4 T-shirts into every track. You get the sticker pack, the swag bag. You get everything that the race cars get, and you get to go hang out at the track with all the race cars. Occasionally, there have been some times where we got ahead on the schedule, and Matt actually does let a few road weekers go down the track if they want to, just for the heck of it. So it's a great deal. It's a special deal. We've done the whole thing several times. We've done part of it several times. This week with Addie's work schedule, it's just not going to work. Mark lives close to the Woodward Dream Cruise. I went to that. A little over 20 years ago is the only time I've been to that. Chris trying to get his 39 pickup done to get to Good Guys. So like I said, it's a special deal. We have a lot of fun with it. If you're anywhere near any of those tracks, you definitely want to. Woodward Dream Cruise is in Detroit. Definitely get out and support that event and show those guys some love. It's a great deal. So anyway, I guess we better keep moving on. We've kind of been rolling here. We had a lot of stuff to talk about as always, but obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I did not pick up any cars this week. I was trying to get stuff done to get out of town, so things got a little hectic there. That puts us up to the promo model, some badges and caps, catch a little story time, talk about the raffle, and we're going to auction a few things off as well before we get into the magazine. So, let's catch an Auburn badge. Ooh, slid that one in. And then we're going to catch a promo model. Steel Eds box. Plain white, single corrugated cardboard box. Not the heavier ones we were used to in some of the 90s stuff. This one actually does have a label on it, though. Kind of. Typewritten 1987 Chevy Camaro. In bright blue. Great looking promo. 1987 Z28 in a very nice bright medium blue metallic. Does have the Z28 badges down here on the rocker panels like they should have. Buick Man had a blue 85. That's the whole point of doing this stuff. Brings back memories, brings back good thoughts. As with all these promos, the bottom of it not very detailed, just one piece of molded plastic. This one obviously pretty much mint in box. It had a few scuffs on the roof, but nothing too bad. But a great looking promo. Interior also in a medium blue and fairly well detailed. You know, it was, of course, you can see the shifter and everything in it. So taillights, everything all still intact on this one. But there again, it's hasn't been out of the box in 37 years basically. So great looking Camaro. Obviously, definitely like the F-body promos for as much as I like F-bodies anyway. And this one, a great color in really great condition. Ken bought one brand new. That's what's great about this. We dump a toy out of a box and all the memories it brings back for you guys. It's awesome. And this one does have some metallic in that blue, so pretty sharp car. Alec likes the color too. Yeah, it's a good, I mean, it's a good piece. So, yeah, but I get to keep the toy. There's Pappy. How about some badges and caps? We're going to do a grease cap and we're going to do a badge. Grab something real quick. First off, we're going to catch a grease cap tonight. And we've done grease caps similar to this, but this one's kind of unique. I don't know if this is true brass or not, but it kind of looks like it. But the Studebaker caps, we've done some Studebaker caps. We've sold some Studebaker caps. They have a very nice font. This one has a very clear stamping on it, but it is a brass cap. At least I think it's a brass cap. It sure looks like it. It's brass colored all the way around. Inside, you can't really tell because of the way the threads are cut in it. But a very nice brass, at least brass looking Studebaker cap. Now, I'm assuming this may have even been brass era Studebaker. Maybe it's 1910, 1912 era. Maybe this is a really early one since it is brass. That I'm not sure about. But I know it was definitely a unique grease cap for sure on this Studebaker one in brass. We've seen plenty of the aluminum ones with a similar type script in them because that's what Studebaker used. Alex, okay, perfect. Alex does agree it is pre-1912. It's kind of what I was thinking, but Alex is definitely our expert on that super early stuff. I've only got one, Alec. Alec already wants to buy this one. Could be Studebaker wagon. That's another good point, Glenn. It is very similar in size to a lot of the other ones. It's 2 inches across the hex and about 2.5, 2 5/8 across the back. So good looking cap. It's got a few little nicks and whammies in it, but they're fairly minor. No real serious damage. We know a lot of these things, they can take a pretty good shot on one edge, but good looking piece. Definitely early, at this point, like I said, probably 110 years old, or maybe it's wagon. Maybe it's 120 years old. Who knows? But it's old. There is no doubt about it, and it still looks really sharp for its condition. So, you guys, lots of great comments about the Studebaker cap. Glad you guys enjoyed that one. And let's catch a badge next. If you guys will remember, it's Curved Dash Studi. I don't know what year those were, Alex, but that sounds really early. You guys remember last week we did a Hudson dash badge for the Commodore 8. Nice, very nice, deep, almost 3D-like Commodore 8 badge for the dash of a Studebaker, a Hudson. Glenn, there was an old Studebaker wagon in his step-grandfather's barn. The caps were there, but not that nice. 03 to 07, says Alex. So, Alex thinks there's a possibility this could be a curved dash Studebaker, which was made from 1903 to 1907. So we literally could be looking at a 120-year-old cap here. Kind of cool, actually, when you sit there and think about what this cap has been through from the curved dash cars 120 years ago to what we see today. Wow, kind of cool. But last week we saw the Commodore 8 Hudson Dash badge, this one in red. This week we're going to catch another Commodore 8 badge. This one's still in the housing in blue. This one in a metal housing, very similar to, it's actually the same thing as the one from last week, only one is red, one is blue. So I assume these were a different year. These were used in around 51, 52, so maybe one of these was a 1, one was a 2. This metal housing, I believe, mounted in the glove box door, and that's what held it. If you remember last week, we looked at these plastic tabs on the back of the red Commodore 8, and here we can see how these were mounted in the back of this pop metal housing with basically rivets on these. There's no screw holes in them, and they just have studs out here. So these were essentially riveted into this housing and then put into the glove box door. These are, and this one has just as much depth. If we look at these things up close, we can see the depth with the little diamond shape in it and the gold color, and then the red and the blue behind the Commodore 8 with the chrome letters. I thought these were just absolutely knock your socks off badges. So that gives us a little more insight into what we looked at last week as we see the blue Commodore 8 still riveted into the original metal housing. So there again, that makes me feel good. We had some cool stuff tonight because if I get 0 comments and nobody cares when I hold up badges or caps, then I didn't get good ones that night. We had great comments on both pieces tonight, so I super appreciate that, guys. On the horse-drawn wagon, they're part of a Swedish settlement at Fallon and Salemsburg. Wherever that was, Glenn, I'm not sure. Scott's back on Facebook. So, well over 100-plus-year-old, maybe 120, maybe even turn-of-the-century wagon, grease cap in brass from the Studebaker Corporation, as well as the blue Hudson Commodore 8 glove box door badge to compare to the red Commodore 8 from last week. So thanks, guys. I appreciate all the kind comments on that stuff. I know, like I said, when I hold something up and there's 0 comments or 1 or 2, it's like, it probably wasn't too good of stuff tonight, but glad you guys enjoyed those. That brings us up to story time. Let's grab the big scrapbook and check out a couple more cars, or another car. Southwest of Salina, north and northwest of Lindsborg. Okay? So right in this neck of the woods, I just never heard of them. Teasing us with very cool stuff. We got some cool stuff that you're going to be able to own here shortly, so. As we grab the big scrapbook of cars that Dad had years and years ago. So I'm actually in some of these pictures. In fact, this one is just, we'll just do this one here. This is just a one-shot deal. This was actually just a parts car, believe it or not. I do remember, I think, when we got this, because it was weird for me to get a car for us to pick up a car like this. You know, when I was little, we did, Buicks, Pontiacs, some Oldsmobiles, but primarily Buicks. And like I said, a little bit of Pontiac. We did some Oldsmobiles, but eventually sold all those off. So when we got this particular car, it was kind of a weird deal. But it came with some other cars. And there was some GM stuff with it. The one thing that was odd about this is if I remember correctly, I think it was this car. When we picked it up, one of the moldings was like sticking out. Oh, we got ads. Hold up. Okay. One of the moldings was like loose from the fender and sticking out and had a real sharp point on it. I think this is the one that stabbed my mom in the leg when we were trying to get it loaded, if I remember correctly. The other kind of cool thing about this picture is the background, so we're going to look at that a little bit, because this was well back in probably the late 80s, out in the little town of Galatia where Dad had all of his cars. So like I said, at that point, we were doing pretty much all Buick with a little bit of Pontiac and Oldsmobile. So when we went to get a Plymouth, I thought that was very odd. But it was in the area, and it came with some other cars. So this 1953 Plymouth four-door, there again, I was young. I didn't understand. I was like, this is weird. Why are we getting a Plymouth? And then I remember that, that molding like stabbed Mom in the leg. She got too close to it, didn't see it sticking out, and it like stabbed into her, stabbed her in the leg. So it's about the only thing I remember about going to get that car. But I know it was a pretty sharp point on that molding. Now, the other thing about this is you can kind of see if we look in the background here closely, like right there, I think that was a 56 Special convertible. What else can we see in this picture? There is a 50 Buick next to the 56. There's Brian. Yeah, we've had some Centurions. Yep. So can't really see a lot, but we can definitely see those Buicks lined up there. There's the heart. Goes some of the hearts. I love the hearts and the fireworks. That's always great, guys. But something that I thought was weird at the time that we were picking up a Plymouth, because obviously being pretty much all strictly GM, I thought it was kind of weird at that point to be going after a Plymouth. But like I said, it was close. It came with a couple of other cars. It was kind of a package deal. And then I remember Mom got stabbed in the leg. So But that's kind of the whole point of doing some of this, going back, talking about different things, and they're again kind of weird for me. And obviously now we do a little bit of everything here at Nobody Else's Auto. But this was some of the first times that we ventured out into other brands, and I still remember it. Mike from Texas is here. Chris is from Kansas as well, also Waterme. All right. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. They gave them to Dad for hauling them off. The 58 Bel Air, I do remember that. The 58 Bel Air actually is in the new yard. The 58 Bel Air that came with that Plymouth, I still have it. It is in the new yard. When I bought the new yard, that was one car that I actually ended up getting back. The Dad had sold to this guy years ago. That's something we've never touched at. Rusty Oakie's got a complete F56 F250 for sale, okay? Something to keep in mind. Is when I bought the new yard, 3 or 4 years ago now, there were several cars in there that Dad had sold or traded back and forth with that gentleman 30, 35 years ago. So there's probably 20 cars in there that Dad used to own that I got back when I bought that facility. So that was kind of cool too. Okay, let's get to the raffle. Who's in this week? I think I've got everybody. Like I said, it was kind of crazy with me being gone. I just ran PayPal just a couple hours ago. And if I missed you, be sure to let me know. That's the entire purpose of going through this every week. Hopefully making sure we don't miss anybody. So who I got in this week into the raffle. Then we're going to yank a couple of bonus names out. So Austin McCoy, Alec Blanchett, Adam Briggs, Charles Fitz, Tony Napoli, Andy Fox, and Big Job. That's who I got in this week into the raffle. So if you think you should be in there, be sure to get with me and let me know to make sure we don't miss you. Because here in a couple weeks, we're going to be putting somebody's name on this golden ticket. Sounds good, Dean. That'll work. Here in a couple of weeks, Martin from Tucson's here. We're going to fill out this line and put maybe your name on here. And we're going to fill out 2 of them for the first name out of the can. The second name out of the can is going to get 1. The third name out of the can is going to get half a 1. So anyway, but what we're doing in the meantime, bonus raffles. Have not seen Big Job tonight. Bonus raffles, 10% off any auction purchase throughout the month of July. The bonus raffles, if you want to use them this month, that's fine. If you want to build them up, maybe you get a couple of bonuses this month and you want to take 20 or 30% off. You can always build them up that way too. I just want to use them up in July. Or if you get a couple of bonus raffles and then get the third place prize and get half off, you could still end up with almost a free auction win at 70, 80, 90% off. So, yeah, that's true. He might be working with paving season going. $1 per chance, Chris. Every dollar you send me, put your name in the Big Buick Oil Can one time. All these guys right in here are in right now as we speak. All those names of everybody that has already got chances. We do this every month. Payment information is in the text part of the video. You can PayPal me. That address is in there, friends and family. Check, money order, Western Union. Some people just send me cash in the mail. Other people literally just send me $20. Say, here, put me in the raffle. Any of that's fine. So, but we have a lot of fun with it. We do something every month. We gave away a Porcelain Mobile sign last month. We've given away promos. We've given away other signs. We've given away grease caps. We've given away a lot of cool stuff. So we gave away some custom artwork last year from Randy. So let's get a couple of more names out of here for 10% off bonus coupons on any raffle throughout this month or July. I want them used up, by the end of July. So let's go ahead and do a couple of bonus raffles right now. Sounds great, Chris. Appreciate it. Last week, Pete got one and Chris Bradley got one. Let's see what we got this week. I think I got one. Zach Thompson. All right. So there's one. Let's just go ahead and do the second one right now while we're thinking about it. We usually do a couple of these a week. Let's go ahead and get them done. Zach is out for tonight. However, as with all these bonus raffles, you go right back in. If we yank Zach's name again, we will draw another one. If not, let's get another name out of the Big Buick Oil Can for another 10% off coupon of any auction win between now and the end of July. Yep, give me a shout sometime, Chris, or you never know. We'll see when we plan the next gathering, too. We're down to one. I think I'm down to one, as long as it doesn't say Zach. Kevin Brown. Yep, Kevin Brown. All right. So I got those notes made on my little notepad of who's got those coupons. Nobody's doubling up yet. And as always, these bonus ones do not hurt you for the main drawing. So we're putting Kevin right back in there for next month's, for the big drawing at the end of the month, as well as the extra bonus raffles. Let's see. We're going to do, when are we giving this thing away? Oh, the 30th is on a Sunday. So in 2 weeks, we're giving it away in 2 weeks. So we will have a couple of more bonus raffles next week. And then we're going to give away these golden tickets 2 weeks from now. I just had another idea. Anybody want to do 3 bonus drawings tonight? I was going to stuff all this paperwork back in the can, but I guess we could do another bonus drawing if we wanted. What do you guys think? Rusty Oakie's like, yes, please. Okay. What the heck? Let's do one more. Then we'll pile all the paperwork back in the Big Buick Oil Can. All right, Zach is out and Kevin is out. Let's add one more name to that list of 10% coupons, and it is Tony Napoli. Nope, Dad's not in this one. He hasn't gotten in for a while. There was a few times he got in when I had some really cool toys, but most of these he hasn't been doing. So let's get Tony Napoli onto this list as well. On my little notepad of bonus winners. And we'll put that off the side. We'll put Tony's name right back in to the Big Buick Oil Can. These are 10% off coupons, Austin. 10% 10% off any auction purchases on the bonus drawings this month. And then, of course, we're going to put some names in these golden tickets here in 2 weeks. So I printed out a golden ticket, actually, as you guys can see. These splotches right here, I'm sure some of you guys are probably wondering what those splotches mean. What those splotches mean is don't buy cheap printer cartridges off of eBay that are supposed to work. That's what those splotches mean. It actually screwed my printer up so bad, I ordered a new printer. And then it kind of started clearing up, and this is as far as it's gotten. It still has some splotches, but in case anybody was wondering, those splotches mean don't buy cheap printer cartridges off of eBay. So, all right, let's put this paperwork back into the Big Buick Oil Can for this month's raffle. And then, are we ready to do some auction stuff, guys? We're going to start digging through the auction boxes and see what we can do with that. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys like that. It was a pretty, like I said, I literally have a brand new printer upstairs in the box because this thing was so screwed up from that cartridge that it wouldn't even print for a while. Then it started kind of printing, and it's gotten this good at this point. So it's kind of working. So I guess I got an extra printer. New cup working out great. What? What? You going to come back and say hi again? What? 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 You want to come say hi? There's Big Job. What? Come here. That's right. You're going to jump off. Okay. Okay, let's start digging through some auction stuff. Let's do a few things now. I don't know how much we're going to do tonight. I've got quite a bit here. I didn't have as much time to get as much ready as normal since I just got back this afternoon. But I had quite a bit here, so we can definitely get some stuff done. We're going to give you an Auburn badge in the meantime while I start rounding things up. And hopefully I don't get a leg cramp. All right. Let's get ready to boogie. Let's do some auction stuff. We'll see what happens tonight. We're going to sell some stuff. I don't know how many we're going to do, but we'll do a few and see how things roll. As always, we'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about that piece. When we talk about that particular car, we'll show you some damage that it may or may not have on it. We'll give you some dimensions on it so you get an idea of what size it is. As we're doing that, if you have a bid in mind, go ahead and throw something out there so I at least know that we have interest in that particular piece. After we get done describing it, we will put it on a timer right here on my phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. When I tell you 1 minute 30 has passed, it is time to be thinking about your maximum bid because everybody has a delay. Some people it's 5 seconds and boom, they can nail it. Some people it can be 20 or 30 seconds. So when I tell you 1 minute 30 has passed, it's time to be hitting that maximum bid. Some of you guys are getting really good at sniping. We've got some cool pieces tonight where I think that's going to happen. But it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, like I said, we vary. It depends on how many people are on and how much they want to do. But we're going to start off. We'll do at least a small batch of stuff tonight and have some fun with it. So anyway, I'll keep it on this timer. I will let you know when we hit that minute mark, that minute 30. And when I see 200 pop up on this screen, I will see where my high bid is, whether it is on YouTube on this monitor or on Facebook on this monitor. I am watching two screens. If you hear me read a bid out that you do not see, it is probably on the other format. Only thing we can go by is what I can see. There are times when you guys will see something different than me. but all I can go by is what I can see. So but please bear that in mind. Just because you see something doesn't mean I'm seeing it, and I will announce what I am seeing. Especially on the first couple of items, I will announce all the bids just so you guys can get an idea of what I am seeing when I am seeing it. After we get through the first few pieces and we're getting rolling, I may not, if we have several bids pop up at once, I will probably only announce the high bid. Let's go ahead and get started off with some more basic stuff here. We've got some cool license plates, hubcaps, grease caps, emblems, horn buttons, some cool stuff tonight. So let's go ahead and get rolling and see what you guys think. We're going to start off with a license plate. We always love license plates. They're a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get rolling with one of those. And then we'll do some more digging on some of these caps and badges and emblems and some of this other cool stuff we got hanging out around here. And we've also got a Chevy badge bundle, courtesy of our good friend, the Rusty Okie, to do here in a little bit as well. So, okay. First off for tonight, we'll start out with not a super common plate. We've done a few of these. This one's in pretty decent shape. It has been used. It's got a few scuffs and scratches, but it's 63 years old. It is Kansas, Edwards County, 3-digit 595 from 1961. Now, the 1961 plate was not the flashiest plate that we had in Kansas. Kind of an off-white background with brown letters. Now, the reason being is this was the centennial year. Obviously, we see that right here. They had a special centennial plate that was in brown and white with a buffalo on it. We've done a few of those on here. I may have a couple of those left. I need to dig one of those out. This is your basic standard 6x12 size plate. The back of it, once again, mostly there as far as paint, a little bit of chipping, a little bit of surface rust, but overall a pretty decent plate considering its age. Like I said, roughly the 12x6, I think is what these are, right at 12 by a little under 6 on the 1961 Kansas plate, triple digit 595. Frank at 25. Let's get this thing rolling. And on the timer. Get my notes caught up here. I do keep track of this. I do log everything so that I can keep track of who has what and make sure, hopefully, I get the right stuff shipped to the right people. Martin at 30. Frank, 35. Martin, 36. One minute gone, Frank at 40. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Like we don't have an ad on the show. Yep. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Frank at 40. Just about right, ready to wind it up. And that'll do it. Frank at 40. Good looking plate. All right, let's do an old oil can. These are kind of cool. This might even be a rerun. I don't remember. I think I threw this in with some rerun stuff on these spout oil cans. These things are so cool. This one has some rust damage on the bottom of it. It is an Eagle branded piece. This eagle is actually stamped in it. On the other side, made in the USA. Not something we see very often anymore, but especially on something small like this, made in the USA. If you're going to be the Tin Man for Halloween, you got to have it. That's what I was thinking. Big John was bidding 73 on that thing. Screw on cap. On the little Eagle oil can. All right. Alex, 15 as we hit the timer. Good question, Alex. This is about 3 3/8 across the bottom and about 5 inches tall, roughly, to the spout. Alex at 15. Mark has some comment up there, but I can't really tell what it is. Okay, we got ads coming. Let me kill these. We should be good to go. All right. I don't know what happened there, Mark, with your comments. So, Mark had a 10 there, but I've got Alex at 15 already. So that must have been hung up in there. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. How's the inside look? We'll show it to you real quick. If we can see it. We may not be able to see in there. You can see where the little rust holes are at. We saw on the bottom. Dean at 17. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Dean at 17. Alex at 21. Dean at 24. Coming down to the end, about ready to wind this one down. And that does it. Dean at 24. This next piece is pretty cool. I like it. Polished up just a bit more here. Really make her shine. Getting off into some more of our horn buttons, and these things are amazing. The depth, the design, these things are just so great. This one for our Mercury fans, I think this is around a 60, maybe 61, maybe 59, something like that. On this, check out this horn button. This thing is a beauty. Look at that. This is a metal bezel with the chrome or the plastic insert. We can see the big M with a big spike down at the bottom. Looks like the M is suspended against kind of a light teal background. Kevin L at 25. The back, we can see where this has like an aluminum cap holding the plastic in, but it's a beauty. Rusty Okie at 30. It's about 3.5 in diameter. But she's a beauty. Let's get this thing on the timer. Rusty Okie at 30. Yeah, it's a beauty. Like I said, some of these things are so cool. I got a couple more horn buttons we're going to do tonight too. So, Rusty Okie at 30 on the Mercury button. This actually is dished. So you've got the dish in the pot metal, and then you've got the M made to look like it is suspended in the air hanging against the teal background. Yeah, there was some good stuff in there. Like I told you guys when I bought that stuff here, 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go at the Lawrence Schwab, it was tough to buy because there was so much cool stuff in these boxes that these guys were digging through it, buying stuff out of it. Well, I'm trying to buy all the whole boxes, and the guy doesn't care if he sells me the boxes or not because he's just handing this stuff out of them at, you know, 40, 50 bucks a piece. So, not sure what you had there, Buick, man. Something said 3D. I don't know. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. So we got 30 seconds left. Not sure what you had there, Buick, man, but Zach, 32. Bill Disc, 36. Oh, three-dimensional. Okay. Yep, it is. Yep, you're right there. About ready to wrap this one up. Bill Disc at 36. Coming out of the wire. Pete, 38. And that does it. Pete, then Zach had a 38 in there that came in at 201. Zach came back with 41. Alec had 37 over here that was just a hair late. But Pete got that 38 at about 158 and change. So there really wasn't much time. Yeah, Kevin had a 45 in there. Pete slid that 38 in there with about no room to spare, and he got it done. Oh, something else I wanted to mention to you guys as well. On some of this stuff, if you just get one thing some week and it's a $20, $25 piece, I may hold that for the next week to see if you get something else to go with it, just for what shipping costs are anymore. So please bear that in mind. If you just have one piece and it's 20 or 25 bucks, it's kind of tough to spend $6 or $8 to ship that. So I won't hold it for a month or anything, but I may hold some of this stuff for a week just to try to get something else to go with the shipment. So we need a Hudson badge after that. How about this? I think this is a rerun as well, but we haven't done one in a while, and I'm about out of them. I may have a few of them left. We haven't done any in a while. These cast iron buggy steps, these things are so cool. This is a single. Nice kind of cool flow to it. There's Eric. Step plate, this is all cast in. 8556R with an E stamped on the bottom of it. No problem, Glenn. You keep finding me cool stuff, so I know we'll be up there more for sure. This is a pretty unique one. Kind of almost an S shape here. The step is 4 inches. And look at this detail. This is all cast into here. This has an E on it. I think we've had like some Erie stuff. Maybe this is an Erie step. Not really sure. Don't know much about these. This one, overall length, it's about almost 14 inches, 13 3/4. No, I've still got one that I held, Austin, was that Texaco can, because that was all you had last week. So I've still got it in the tub, and I've got your receipt with it, so I know you paid for it. I was just waiting to get something in there with it to ship together. So 2 bolts or rivets or whatever held this thing on originally. Pretty unique piece. And this might be I think this was a rerun as well. I don't know if the E is Erie or what it is, but anyway, let's go ahead and sell it. See who wants to add this to their collection, see who has use for something cool like this. These things can be used for a lot of different things. And, steps around bars. I know we sold some. The guy was going to put them on his 4-wheel drive pickup that Ryan and Amy were going to use. So on the buggy step, anybody on the buggy step this week? Or do we want to skip it? Because I don't see anybody jumping on the buggy step. We'll give it a few more seconds here. If not, I'll dump it back in the box and we'll find something else later if I got another one to go with it. Okay, there is some. Okay, they must have been held up. They must have been held up because I had 3 of them pop up at the same time. That doesn't surprise me anymore. Let's get this on the timer. I've got Dean at 15 on the step. There's another one. So there was 3 $10 bids and a 15 all hung up in there. Okay, we've got 15 on it right now. Lots of other bids, but the 15's the high. Frank at 17. These things are neat. They are solid. They are, probably turn of the century. So 120-year-old, maybe 130 years old if they were 1890s. That E, I know we've had some Erie type stuff. I don't know if that's what that E stands for or not, but they are definitely unique pieces. Auburn badge. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Frank at 17. We've done some various ones of these. They're all pretty much different. They're all unique, and they're all pretty cool. Perfect, Matt. Sounds great. Frank at 17 as we tick away on the buggy step. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. I've got Adam at 18. Just about ready to wind this one up. I've got Adam at 18. And that'll do it. Adam at 18, Dean at 24, but it was a little too late. I've got a few toys in here, Austin. In fact, I got a tractor kind of similar to one that you bought a while back. Maybe we'll get that tractor slid in here in a little bit. But next, we're going to do another badge bundle, courtesy of our good friend, the Rusty Okie. He said his garage was smelling funny, so he had to donate this stuff to the show to sell it because it said Chevrolet on it. The first piece from the badge bundle donated by our good friend Rusty Okie. We sold his one badge bundle donated by him last week. We're going to sell the other one this week. First off, the Chevrolet Script. This is roughly 1958, 59-ish. Cursive font. This is a pop metal emblem with stud mount. A few of the studs are broken. Front of it still looks pretty decent. It has pretty decent chrome on it. It is about 10 1/4 long. So there's the first badge out of the Chevrolet badge bundle, courtesy of Rusty Okie. The next piece going with this, a big baddie yellow bow tie. This is a great looking piece. Big job at 5. Plastic yellow insert in a pop metal chromed housing, stud mount. This is flat. You can do a lot with this bow tie. You can bolt it onto something. You can actually grind the studs off, put double-sided tape on it. You can literally stick this thing about anywhere. It is about 8.5 tip to tip and a little over 3 inches tall. This yellow insert is plastic. It does have some hairline cracks in it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but no chips, no chunks missing. Good color, nice chrome, good looking yellow bow tie to go with the Chevrolet Script. So, okay, several bids here. The pair, one money going together. Big job at 15 is our high bidder as we go on the timer. We are live. Big job at 15. Chris at 16. Zach at 16. I had Chris first as we hit the 1 minute mark with 1 minute left to go. Chris at 16. Zach at 18. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. What are you doing, Great Kitty? Meow. Zach at 18, Whiskey Business. About ready to wrap this one up. Zach at 18 on the pair. You're getting both for one money. And that does it. Zach at 18. Yep, no problem, Rusty Okie. Yep, babe, we gave you full credit. Trust me. Oh, I just said you said your garage was smelling funny, so you had to get rid of them. Let's do a little cap. What? What? I got all these boxes in your way now, don't I? This is kind of a funky little cap. I think it's a Hudson. But it is unique. It is original. It is cool. It is bright and shiny, so you might want to get sunglasses out. But it's a good-looking cap with the little diamond in it, or the little triangle in it. Like I said, I think it's Hudson. It's a metal back, chrome cap, steel cap on the metal base. This is original paint in the triangle. Still looks really good. This ridge is stamped in it. This is a little bit smaller than what we're used to on some of these caps. 8.5 in diameter on this little Hudson cap. It has a little bit of depth to it. As you can see, it's kind of got a dome to it. But a pretty good looking little cap. Okay, Alex at 22. As we hit the timer, just finish up my notes. Alex at 22, kicking us off on the cool little cap. What? 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 Yes, I got all those boxes in your way now, don't I? And you're not happy about it. Alex is our only player on this little guy. I thought this was a cooler cap than that, honestly. For its condition, few dings and dents, but not bad, nice and shiny, no serious damage, no serious road rash. But we've still got a minute to go. Might be a sniper out there because we've just hit the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go on this cool little Hudson cap. Zach at 24. Alex at 25. Just under 30 seconds gone, just past that minute 30 mark, about ready to wind this one down. Alex at 25. I got some help up here. What? Coming out of the end, Kevin at 32. Zach at 31, but I already had Kevin at 32. I got a fluffy cat in the way. Zach at 35 at the last minute. Alec had a 30. That 30 was late, but Zach had a 35 literally just as it rolled to 2-0-0. Holy cow. There was no time left to get that in, but he got it in as it literally was rolling to 2-0-0. No possible way that could have been any closer, but in all honesty, he got it in, so it's got to count. Zach at 35. You're not making this any easier. No, do not stand on the keyboard. Here, I'll move this. Put your feet right there. Get off my Hot Wheel. You can't mess up my new Hot Wheel. Yes. You can sit right there. That's where you have to sit. Comprende, muchacho? Pooey. You come over and shook and now there's cat fur everywhere. Okay. That was kind of crazy. Woo. All right. Let's get back on track here. You stay out of the way. Let's catch another plate. No, I've not seen a cartoon called Simon's Cat. Let's go to Kentucky this year. Tonight, go back to 1982 in Kentucky for our farmers. A farm plate. This is all embossed. The expiration date of 82. The farm, this is all embossed. None of this is a sticker. This is literally every bit of this is stamped into this metal plate. Standard roughly 6x12 plate. It does have a little bit of chipping. It is a nice deep royal blue with white numbers and letters, but we can see some chipping on the letters there. But overall, kind of crazy to think this is over 40 years old from our friends in Kentucky. Alex at 22, I honestly don't even see any screw hole damage around this. I'm sure it had to have been used, but it doesn't look like the screw holes were, screwed up or had any screws in them. So, but yeah, you're right, Michael. It does have great color. Let's get this thing boogieing. Alex at 22 on the Kentucky plate. Yeah, it may have wrote on the dashboard. Hey, goofball. Adam at 23. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 30. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left, a minute 30 gone. Alex at 30. Big Job 35, and that does it. Woo! Snuck that in at about 158. Big Job with that $35 shot. All right. Weston wanted to do some toys. We've got a toy I've actually had in here for quite a while. I've been needing to do something with. We sold one similar to this. It was a different brand, but we did sell one similar to this quite a while back that I think Weston bought. So we're going to sell this one. It is cast iron. Yeah, that's right. Big Job slid that one in. Boom, at the last second. And I don't know if these are the original wheels for it, but they're the wheels that came with it on this cast iron case tractor. It's pretty cool. It's not complete. It needs a little work, but it is pretty darn cool. Check this thing out. Big Job's got an ad, so we'll kill a few seconds here while we're doing this and as we're talking about this before we get into the auction. This is a cast iron case. There are no wheels on it, and it does have one chip in this rear fender. It is about 6.5 inches long. It's early. Someone started to strip the paint off this. We can see a little bit of paint left on it. Now, going with this did come with wheels. I do not know if these are the correct wheels. There are a pair of these for the rears. No idea if these came with this particular tractor, or for this tractor, but that's what came with it. So they are very close to the correct size. When you hold them up on the center hole of where the axle is compared to the fender, they absolutely look like they could work for this particular tractor. So there are a pair of these. There are also a pair of these fronts to go on the front of it. So other than that, I don't know much about it. Obviously, it's a toy tractor. It's a little out of my wheelhouse. The case is actually cast into it. So kind of a unique piece, but something I don't really know much about. But I'm selling the toy tractor with both sets of the wheels, the rears and the front, so somebody can make a really cool piece out of this tractor. I don't have time to mess with it. I'm going to sell it to you guys and see what you guys think. Mark's starting us off at 15. The tractor body and the front and rear wheels, I think somebody could do something super cool with it. It is early. I'm guessing it's probably a 30s era piece. So, yeah, Tractor Mike is cutting, but this is almost too early for him on his toy collection. So, and I did talk to Tractor Mike, and yes, he is cutting. So, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Mark starting us off at 15 on the toy tractor with wheels. So Pappy says, so some of the toys he's looking at have this type of wheel. So these wheels could be Ford. And like I said, when you hold these rears up to where they actually go, they are very close. Probably close enough you can make them work. So there we go. What do you think, Gray Kitty? Do you like the tractor? Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark's the only bid that we've got on the cast iron toy tractor. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. And Glenn says they look case-like in spoken design. So They could very well be for this piece. They came in the same box when I bought them at an auction, but obviously they weren't attached. Dean at 16. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Dean at 16. Getting ready to wrap this one up. Weston at 25. Coming out of the wire, a few seconds left. Weston at 25. And that does it. Weston at 25. Double W. So I think you got the other one similar to it if I remember correctly. Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, let's catch a couple more things and see where things are at and how things are going. Let's catch another horn button and a hubcap, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Another one of these great horn buttons out of those big boxes of stuff I got at the Lawrence Swap Meet. Also works as a cat hat. Oh, you are not happy about that, are you? I got to take a picture of this. Yes, it works as a hat for Gray Kitty. Yeah, she didn't like that a bit. Okay, no Gray Kitty hat pictures. But we are going to show you the horn button. And it's a beauty. More depth, more almost 3D on this gold center chrome ring Nash. Look at this thing. It's all plastic. This is all black. It's got a silver disc basically around the back, and the Nash is gold in the middle of it. Look at that thing. There's just some great buttons in this collection. Some great badges, great horn buttons. This is Rusty Okie at 30. 3 1/4 in diameter. We can see on the back where the Nash is stamped in there, and just the coloring just really make this thing just wow. Look at that. So let's get this thing rolling. We've got the Rusty Okie starting us off at 30. And looking around to see what else we want to do here. Oh, we got another hubcap to do for sure. Then we'll see where we're at. Awesome, number one. Always appreciate that. Good, Michael. Glad you enjoyed that one. That was a nice piece, too. That cleaned up really good. I think if she doesn't have this one, she's got one similar to it, I think. And I do have another one similar to this. I don't have another one exactly like this, but I've got another one similar to it. 1 minute, just past the 1 minute mark, just under 1 minute left to go. Rusty Okie at 30, the only bid that we've got. So Rusty Okie maybe have knocked a bunch of people out right out of the gate with that $30 shot. But I do know one thing. I do know for sure that we will find out in about 30 seconds. Because there's the minute 30 mark, 30 seconds left to go. Rusty Okie at 30, the only bid that we've got on the Nash horn button. No, he's already preparing to be sniped. Zach, Whiskey Business at 36. Coming out of the end, about ready to wrap it up. And that does it. Whiskey Business at 36. Kevin L had a 40 in there just a little too late. All right, I told you we do another hubcap. Let's catch this hubcap, and then we'll see if you guys want to do a few more if we want to move on to the magazine. This is a great looking cap. You don't have to worry about sunglasses because this is a painted cap. You having fun? That's actually my marker. How did my marker get over there? Oh, great. Don't, hold on. The cat's got one of my markers. She's going to knock it over under this other desk, and then I'll never be able to find it. I had to grab my highlighter. Gray Kitty knocked it off. The other cat saw it. She was about ready to knock it under the other desk and never to be seen again. So, okay. All right, like I said, we're going to go to a painted cap this time. A little bit different, but it's definitely something for our pickup fans. I believe this is a half-ton, around a 1950 GMC. Check this thing out. This thing looks great. This is all original paint. Obviously, it's thin right here. It's got scuffs and scratches. What's great about it, it looks this good, and it still displays this well, but it's original. Don't lick it. Yep. Metal back, got the metal cap on it. White with red paint originally, and just a great look. Yeah, it is a great looking piece. Right at 10 inches in diameter on the GMC cap. So great looking piece. And let's see. Zach's in love with this one. He even got hearts on his eyeballs on this one. Well, let's get rolling and see how it goes. There's no bids on it yet, but we're going to see what happens. Here we go. On the GMC cap, I think this would be half ton, but it's a great looking piece. Lots of hearts flowing up there. Always appreciate that, guys. Double Dever, Weston at 5. Big Job at 20. Zach, 21. Weston, 25. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Double W at 25. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Zach at 31. Coming out of the wire. Getting close to winding things up. Zach at 31. Austin at 32. And that does it. Austin at 32. Zach had a 35 in there, but it was too late. Let's catch a couple of more plates real quick here, and then we'll see what we want to do. I got a couple of cool plates here we want to do something with. A couple of earlier plates that are always fun. Let's do, I think we did a truck one of these last week. Let's do a car version of it this week. From 1933. This is the really cool blue with white letters on the 1933 Kansas. Glad you were here, Zach. Glad you had fun. This is a good looking plate. Original paint, blue background, white letters. The back is all blue. This is the narrower, skinnier plate, long, skinny. It is 14.5 by 4 1/4. So 14.5, 4 1/4. So this is a long, skinny plate. All of the holes in this appear to be completely original. I don't see any extra holes punched in it. It is nice and flat, displays well, good colors, considering this thing is 90 years old. So it's a pretty good piece. Let me get some notes made here. And let's roll. Adam 25, is that starting us off on this plate, Adam? So Adam at 25 on the 1933 Kansas plate. All right, that's what I thought, Adam. I thought that was hanging there. I just wanted to make sure. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Adam at 25, the only bid we've got on this 33 plate. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Coming on the minute 30 mark. No other bids. Adam at 25. Just past the minute 30 mark. Less than 30 seconds to go with only one bid of 25 on this one. Coming out of the wire. Adam at 25. Lee at 30. Leo called it. There's a sniper out there. Lee at 30. And that does it. Lee came in there at 30. Adam came back at 33 at about 2:02. Lee at 30. All right, let's catch one more plate for tonight, and then we'll kind of see where we're at on auctions and see if we want to go ahead and get into the magazine. This is also an earlier plate. Great looking piece. You might want to pay attention to this one, Adam. It's pretty cool as well. Only a few years newer, going back to 1939, but going up to the Great White North of Minnesota. Looks like it came off a taxi cab. Yellow, black letters, almost kind of an orangish yellow, like a lot of taxis would normally, you would think a taxi would be. Dated 1939, right down here in the corner. The MIN for Minnesota. This is also a narrower and longer skinny plate. Adam at 25 on this one. 14 3/8, 4 3/8. 14 3/8, 4 3/8. That's true. It does have a cool font. Adam kicking us off on 25 on this one as well. The back looks good. Good looking plate. Let's get this thing on the timer and let's roll. Yeah, no kidding. Considering it came from the Rust Belt, it does look amazing for being 1939. Alex at 33. Adam at 35. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute left to go. Alex at 39. With 1 minute left, Alex at 39. On the 39. Leo said, you're right, Leo. There might be a sniper on this one, too. It's a good-looking plate, not one you see very often. We're going to find out here in 30 seconds because there's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Adam at 40. Adam at 40. We're about ready to wind this one up. It's getting close to the end. Alex at 42. And that does it. Alex got the 42 in there at 158. Whew, that one got interesting. All right, what do you guys think? We want to get into the magazine? Or do you want to catch a couple more auction pieces? If so, what do you want? Damn you, Alex. Yep. You snuck in on him, that's for sure. Yeah, Alex, not my first gunfight. Yep. I don't have any more cast toys tonight at all. Perfect, Austin. Sounds good. Okay, whatever works for you. That'll work for me, Austin. And I appreciate that, guys. When you'll at least let me get a couple things in a box, that definitely helps for sure. So, anyway, we got a few more plates, a few more emblems, a couple grease caps, some things like that. If there's anything anybody wants, or we can get into the magazine and keep moving forward on that. We'll have a Hudson badge to think about it, though. All right. I guess we'll move on to the magazine, save some of this other stuff for next week. Had a lot of fun with you guys tonight on the auctions, as always. Yeah, Adam's going to switch over to YouTube, see if his lag works any better. Yeah, they're all different. That's for sure. Yeah, but Pete, going back to Pete's comment there a little bit ago, Pete and I were going over promos one night. Pete's wife said, we're not allowed to play together anymore. I'm a good influence on people. I don't know what the problem is, but I think I'm a good influence. Apparently not so much to some people. But thanks, guys. I had a lot of fun with the auctions. As always, they're a blast. I love being able to ship some of this stuff to you guys and add it to your collection. We got ads coming. Let me get on these things. Boom. I think I got those taken care of. And we got a lot more cool stuff lined up for next week. So we'll have some more fun next week. Let's get back into the magazine. We got some great stuff to check out in tonight's magazine as well. Going back to the year 1957, we're going to finish up the Hot Rod from September of 1957. We've got some awesome builds to look at, some cool ads to check out, and some classifieds in the back of this one as we get ready to wrap up the September 1957 issue of Hot Rod magazine. So, if you guys remember, this is what we dug into last week. We did the first part of it last week. We're going to spend some time with the back half of the September 1957 issue of Hot Rod with a cover price of 35 cents. So anyway, let's flip to the center part of this magazine. We've got some great cars to check out right out of the gate. Now, this was still back in the days of black and white. However, these car features had a green tint to them. I thought was kind of weird. Big Chug from the north. Ernie Hall from Cornelius, Oregon, builds a sizable flathead, wraps it in aluminum. So this is almost looks like a Dry Lakes type car. It is custom built, flathead powered, 3 deuces with a custom body. Not a lot of text on this one, but just taking in the pictures, and I'll give you a minute to take in the pictures, is pretty cool stuff. So check this stuff out, guys. That's what it said. According to them, at that point, Oregon was north. Flathead powered, custom built body. And there again, pretty neat car. And you got to remember, we're talking 1957. And a few more feature cars to check out right out of the gate tonight. So you're right, Alex. That's a great point. It does kind of look like a Pinewood Derby car. I had not thought of that, but you were dead on with that statement. Now, this next one, this I actually kind of had to study this one for a second. This is one, and there again, we've got to put this stuff into perspective. It's September of 1957. Now, this is a 56 Chevy pickup. Beyond crazy, heavily customized 1956 Chevy pickup. So we got to remember, we're in September of 57. And just look at the nose of this thing. And if you caught the headline, see you later, Chris. By a couple of brothers who were starting to make a name for themselves, really just starting to make a good name for themselves, by the Sam and George Barris brothers of Linwood, California. This was their shop truck, the Copper Cart. This thing is chopped and everything. So this is just going to take a few seconds to take this one in. This was a 1-year-old pickup. That's one other thing, Pete. That's almost too much for some people. Imagine going and buying a 2023 Silverado and doing this to something of this level of customization, chopping the top, different lights, different nose, everything. Imagine that's a 1-year-old truck. That's one thing I was trying to think about. Yeah. And that's what I kept having to think. This was built in 56, early 57, because I almost thought it looked like a Thunderbird bumper cut in half and tucked together. But that would be like 64, 65. Adam's got to jump off. Glad you were here tonight. Austin, awesome, Austin. Appreciate it. Quite a deal considering that was a 1-year-old pickup. Big rig grill, that might be a possibility. I don't know. Now, the next feature car is something we would absolutely, completely expect to see in a 1957 issue of Hot Rod. A Dandy Deuce, a 1932 Ford Roadster, packing flathead power, a full-built flathead, and a Merc flathead at that. So, there again, almost what we would consider the quintessential custom car of the era. Yeah, the headlights on the Chevy truck do kind of make it look like that, but they're spread apart a little more. But definitely was a sign of times to come to the 58, 59 with the quad headlights. But the Dandy Deuce, there again, pretty much what a lot of us would consider the iconic, stereotypical hot rod, 32 Roadster, flathead Merc power. That's true. A lot of that stuff came from wrecking yards, and they made work what they could find or what they could modify to make work. Oh, by the way, Nate, are you doing race week next week? I haven't had time to check in with you. That's true. You could get stuff chrome. You didn't have to worry about the EPA, the government. You could actually get that stuff done. Now, this next car, I had to do a little bit of studying on it. And literally, I knew it was a complete full custom. But what surprised me is it didn't really say anything about what it was based upon. Impression in Glass. Inspired by a Hot Rod Magazine feature on fiberglass, Henry McCormick designed and built this marvelous coupe. From an article entitled Pour Yourself a Car, March, April 1954 Hot Rod Magazine, he gleaned enough to follow through with the construction on this excellent full-scale body. Notice the smooth finish and unique lines. Sweet. Glad you're going to make it, Nate. I just got to see what parts of it I can make. One thing I thought was kind of odd, it didn't say anything at all about what this is built on. Nothing about the chassis, the driveline, nothing. Obviously, the body, full, complete fiberglass custom. The only thing that I really recognized on this car was the grille is similar to a Willys sedan, like a Willys Aero sedan. One of the later Willys Aero sedan used a grille somewhat similar to that. But, and those taillights, the taillight lenses are 55 Buick. The way they're laid down in here. But I can't really identify much of the trim on this car. So most of this was custom, but I thought it was odd that they ran this article. Obviously, they wanted to feature the fact that this design and project came from a Hot Rod Magazine feature. However, not one mention whatsoever of what this thing had in it for a powertrain or a driveline or frame or chassis. But regardless, an amazing car that somebody designed and built this themselves. Yep, Frankenstein. Maybe that's a good title for it. The next one, another one that would be kind of considered a quintessential hot rod that we would expect to see in the 50s, the Tattooed T. Mural-like painting distinguishes this Washington hybrid on this Model T Roadster pickup. Flathead powered. And that's what I thought. Maybe the windshield frame stuff would give us a clue, Alan, but just absolutely nothing. And one more feature car that there again we would completely expect to see in a 50s era issue of Hot Rod Magazine. A 1940 Ford Deluxe two-door sedan, also packing twin carb flathead power with a flamed paint job. However, we can't tell what colors it is because it's all green tint in here. But there again, another quintessential hot rod you would expect to see in Hot Rod Magazine in the 50s. And let's keep flipping. A few more articles we want to catch tonight before we get into the ads and a few classifieds. This next one, kind of interesting. Powder keg. Joe Kenning dropped a bomb in his sedan and ran 135 in the quarter. And when I say dropped a bomb, you've got to remember, we are in 1957. Nope, the headlights are right side up on that 40 Ford. What was dropping a bomb in your sedan considered in 1957? Well, you got to remember these engines had only been out for basically 7 years at this point. Not a lot of them out there, not a lot of them to get your hands on. So when you take an old 29 sedan body, slap it on a 32 Ford chassis, which weighed 1,100 pounds, and then you pop a Hemi in it, I bet it was like driving a powder keg. Leo's got to jump off. Glad you're here tonight, Leo. I will try to get your stuff figured up. I got your text about getting your tally, your stuff totaled up, but with me being out of town, didn't have time to mess with it. So that's what they mean by powder keg. You take a sedan body, slap it on a 32 frame, and drop a Hemi in it. The next article I want to check out, we talked about this last week, and this is what's kind of funny. Obviously, we hang out on YouTube. We do a lot of cool stuff on YouTube. We have a lot of fun on YouTube, and YouTube is amazing if you need to learn something or how to do something. Back then, you had to do it in a magazine. Custom door panels and side panels, new fabrics and quilting to brighten your car's interior. There again, we now have a video. We can watch it literally on our phone. We can take it with us. We can click on it. We can turn it on. We can turn it off. If you wanted to learn how to do custom door panels in 1957, you went through it step by step in a magazine article. So that was your tutorial. Multiple small pictures with little bits of text with it as you were going through it. One more article I want to catch before we get into some ads. And this is mainly just because it's got amazing pictures. The Midwestern Drag Champs, JCs of Grand Island, Nebraska, present all-gas pre-nationals championship event. Just some great pictures here. I'm just going to hold this up and let you guys take this stuff in. Check out the flagmen, the cars. Definitely a different era in the sport of drag racing. And could definitely be debated maybe a better era. So pretty cool stuff. Let's go ahead and catch some of these ads and a few classifieds before we wrap things up tonight. Starting off with one of our favorite companies that we, every time we get into something from the 50s, we've always got to check out a few things that they have on special. From our good friends at the J.C. Whitney and Company in Chicago, Illinois. What do they have on special this month in 1957? Mellow Tone fiberglass packed mufflers. Electric trunk kit, electric door poppers. Duplichrome refinishes rusted, peeled, and worn off chrome to match original brilliance. And an amazing new do-it-yourself process gives a reflective chrome-like finish with Duplichrome. Convert any black tire to rubber white sidewalls with Porta-Walls. Style Leader Continental Kits. So there is the September 1957 issue of Hot Rod J.C. Whitney ad. We'll let you check that one out for a few seconds here. Yeah, that's true. There are all drawings. That's a good point, Pete. These aren't just pictures. They are sketches. This next one, we've got 3 great ads. All new from California, station wagon racks. Yes, you can order new luggage racks from your station wagon from Eastern Auto. You order from Eastern Auto from LA. So, okay, not really sure what that means. Eastern Auto custom accessories from LA, which I always thought was West, but hey, maybe that's just me. As well as Hedman headers for 1957 Plymouths from Midwest Auto Specialties, and avoid useless wheel spin. High torque makes both drive wheels work. Aftermarket posi units. So obviously our roof racks, our East Coast roof racks from West Coast Company. Headers now available for 57 Plymouth, as well as aftermarket posi rear end units. Not sure on that big job. Art department was a department for art, not a guy named Art. That's a good point, number one. Some interesting offers from our friends at Edelbrock. Now, I'm assuming these come in pairs, but I'm not totally sure. New, highly polished aluminum valve covers, the finishing touch to a custom engine, available for Oldsmobile, Cadillac, Plymouth, Chevrolet, and Ford from the Edelbrock Equipment Company. And on to the next page from another company that we frequently see their ads in the 50s era magazines. Honest Charlie's Speed Shop, Chattanooga, Tennessee. What do they have on special? Hot rod special kits for overhead valve, Ford, Merc, and Chevy. 3-deuce air cleaners, 3-deuce manifolds, valve covers, dual mufflers, chrome speaker kits, exhaust cutouts. Check out some of the stuff available from Honest Charlie Speed Shop. There's Car Guy. Frank's got to jump off. Glad you were here. Couple more ads. Then we're going to catch a few classifieds. Then we're going to get ready to wrap things up for tonight. The next ad we want to check out, the 1958 Custom Cars Annual. Available from Trend Books. Send me how many copies of Custom Cars 1958 Annual. That includes 85 cents for each of the 1958 Custom Car Annual. And let's catch the back cover, then we're going to catch a few classifieds. The back cover, Grant. New Grant piston rings. Welcome to the Bonneville National Speed Trials. August 26th through September 1st of 1957. For 9 years now, we've had the benefit of seeing your ideas and some of our own tried out on the salt at Bonneville. All right, that'll catch us for ads. We're going to read a few of the classifieds. Now, none of these classifieds have pictures. It is literally just rows of text. So we're just going to catch a couple of these as we get ready to wind things up for this evening. Okay, let's see what is available in 1957 in the Hot Rod Mart in Hot Rod Magazine. Let's see. I flipped through some of these last night. Let me see if I can find some of the cooler ones. This one didn't have a price on it, but I thought it was super interesting to see this in the back of Hot Rod Magazine. Sell Ferrari 2.6 liter V12 engine, 5-speed transmission, clutch, Webers, all accessories complete, 19,000 miles. Make offer. Thought that was kind of odd to see a V12 Ferrari engine available in the back of Hot Rod in 1957. But hey, maybe that's just me. Scott's got to jump off on Facebook. Glad you were here tonight. Let's see. Sell 1939 Ford Phaeton 4-door convertible. Beautiful shape, new tires and interior, engine rebuilt, $400. Sell 2 new 57 Cadillac 4-barrel cars. Carbs. Can't use. $30 each for brand new carbs. New 39 and 40 Ford left rear fenders. $15 a piece for new old stock sheet metal. Sell new manifold for 57 Olds J2. $27.20. Sell 39 LaSalle sedan in good running condition. $150 or best offer. Sell Chrysler engine, 1954 with PowerFlight transmission, 4,700 miles, complete with all accessories, perfect in every detail. $250. So there, that gives us an idea of what the Hemi market was in that time period. So you think, wow, $250 for a first-gen Hemi, that's pretty cheap. But you've got to remember, in 1957, most guys were probably making 50, 75 cents an hour. So if you're making 75 cents an hour, you know, and a Hemi's $250, that's a fortune. So you got to kind of put it into perspective, but that gives us an idea what those Hemis were worth. That was big money back at that time. So to come up and scrape up the cash to come up with something like that for a hot rod, that took some doing. Sell McGurk 3-carb manifold for large port GMC. $58.50 complete. Sell or trade 49 Merc convertible. Olds engine, custom interior, 53 Chevy grill. So basically a full custom 49 Merc convertible, $875. We'll catch a couple more of these. Unfortunately, there's no pictures in them, so all we can do is catch a couple of them and just to kind of put it into perspective. 51 Chevo Mobile, white Bel Air, fresh 55 Olds engine, Caddy trans, Pontiac rear end, 12-volt system, new Firestone wide whites, fully equipped, $1,200. That was a ton of money back then. Sell 471 blower and kit complete for a V8 Dodge or Plymouth, $170. Pretty interesting stuff. Sell 39 Ford Coupe, V8, 55,000 actual miles, standard stock, very good condition throughout. Drive it away. $200 for 39, a running, driving, 50,000 mile 39 Ford Coupe. Or we could go to the 40 Ford Coupe, stock body, excellent condition, beautiful paint, new interior, 50 Ford V8 engine, heavy duty clutch, $500 with new interior and a fresh flathead. Kind of crazy to put some of that stuff into perspective. But there again, when I don't know what the average wage was, but I'm guessing it was probably 50 or 75 cents an hour back in 1957. So even though those numbers sound ridiculously, insanely free by today's standards, that's kind of what you got to put it into perspective. That was big money for those guys back then trying to build a hot rod. So anyway, that kind of wraps up the September 1957 issue of Hot Rod Magazine with a cover price of 35 cents. with a lot of super cool stuff in it. Next week, we'll probably jump back to one of our automotive trade journals, kind of keep mixing that stuff up. But hope you enjoyed this one. A little bit of change of pace, getting away from the automotive trade journals for a couple of weeks, even though they were full of absolutely amazing information, and checking out a little bit of hot rod from the 50s. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Some good magazines, or some good comments about the magazines. Always appreciate that, guys. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and put an exclamation point on episode number 216 of Sunday Night Live Chats. Had a lot of fun with you guys tonight, as always. I know we're going into summertime, and I know we don't have as many viewers on. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So I really do appreciate you guys that jump on and hang out on Sunday nights, even for a little while, to kind of keep this thing going and making it what it is. So what's coming up this week? Obviously, Toy Tuesday. We're going to spend some more quality time with that viewer box. One of these days, I don't know when we're going to get to it, but I want to do a little bit more research, but we're going to get into the mystery Hot Wheel. More money than I think I've ever paid for a Hot Wheel, but it is a hard to find, fairly short production run, intact, pretty much mostly original, seems to be original paint, old school, low production red line. So kind of excited about that. First Sunday when the hockey came on. Okay. So we got that coming up. We're definitely going to have to spend some more time with that viewer box Tuesday night. I've got the ACD videos are all uploaded. So we will definitely start feeding you some of those this week. We'll definitely get at least one of those out. 6 new videos from Auburn Core Duesenberg. I hope you guys caught the driving the Duesenberg video last week. That's one we did last fall that I wanted to go over a few things in it with Doug when we were back down there. So we went over it, made a couple of changes to it, went ahead and published that one. And 6 new ones from Auburn Core Duesenberg. Very heavy on cords this time. They got cords running out of their ears around that place. It was kind of cool, actually, to see that many cords in one place. It was crazy. Crazy. Even had an L29 there. We're going to learn a little bit about the L29. We've never done a good video on an L29. We've done the L29 from Pioneer Village, but they had an L29 in there. So the first time they've had an L29 there, plus multiple 810 and 812s. So a lot of great cord stuff coming up. Some great Auburn stuff coming up. The Pickers Auburn was in there. We've got that video coming. So all of those are uploaded. Some more new inventory. I finally, after like 4 months, 5 months, got the video done on the 71 Camaro body that found out in the middle of a section of ground. I mean, I had to follow the guy out there to find this thing because directions wouldn't have gotten you there. It was literally like, once you get to the section of ground where this car was at, it was like, go to the 4th telephone pole and then take a right and drive out across the Milo stubble till you see the building. That type of a deal on it. So that video's coming up, and obviously we've had a ton of new inventory hitting the ground that we have not shared with you yet, and a lot more coming in. So we'll have some Auburn Core Duesenberg. We'll definitely have some new inventory coming up this week, and definitely do spend some more quality time with that viewer box coming up Tuesday night. With that, I think we'll go ahead and get ready to wind this one down. Inventory shorts. I've been doing a few of those here and there. If you didn't catch the Driving the Duesenberg video or the Twister video, definitely go back and catch those. I've done some shorts on some of them, some bits and pieces. So, it's going to be Wikipedia shorts. I do need to start doing some of those with him. The problem with those is usually when him and I have some time together, it gets to be kind of tight. Next time, maybe when we're in Kansas City in December, when we're both there for the duration, I may try to get some Wikipedia shorts and kind of build some of those in because we can do a lot of fun with those as well. Just got to have some time to kind of map some of them out. So I guess we're going to see a bunch of you hopefully Tuesday night as we dig deeper and deeper into that massive viewer box. Huge shout out to the viewer for supporting us and sending us that, as well as the next one I already got from him that came while I was gone this weekend. So we will hopefully see some of you on Tuesday night. Definitely catch the other videos we'll be getting up. And if we don't see you Tuesday night, we sure hope to see you right back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock for some more Sunday Night Live Chat. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there once again. And we will see you hopefully next week. Now, if something changes with this Rocky Mountain Race Week deal, I will put up a post. And we'll try to jump on for a little bit, even if my schedule is screwed up because of race week. But I don't know if that's going to happen yet. 2 weeks from now, we are going to give away the golden tickets for the auctions. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by, making part of this your evening, and being part of this chat and making it what it is. Well, you got something else to say, Gray Kitty? What? Hey, you want to say goodbye? Do you want to say goodbye? You need to come over here if you want to say goodbye. Yes, the auction boxes are still in your way. Heaven forbid. Have a great week, everybody. I'm going to move the auction boxes out of Gray Kitty's way so she can quit fussing about it. And we'll hope to see some of you Tuesday night, and definitely hope to see you right back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock for some more Sunday Night Live Chat. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us tonight.